Morning before practice routine. My husband actually despises the sound of an alarm clock, so I always make sure to wake up a little early. That way my soothing sound of my voice can wake him up from his slumber in the morning. And then I went ahead and started to watch his film for him and took notes. That way I can give him a scouting report for this Friday's game. And then he started his morning meditation and yoga, which I provided the ambiance for. But then he actually asked me to leave because I was disturbing his peace. So I went ahead and started to clean all of the doorknobs that he's going to be using for the morning. That way we practice caution and ensure his safety and health. And then after that, I ran out to the car with his morning coffee. That way I can start the car, heat it up, and make sure that the steering wheel is clean. That way he stays nice and safe on his ride to work.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Demetra Kaye of the Demetra Kaye Show here on YouTube and a proud contributor of the African Diaspora News channel. And so before we get started, if you could do me a favor and subscribe to both channels if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's get into it. What you just saw was a TikTok video from Chanen Johnson. She is the wife of Juwan Johnson, who was an NFL player with the New Orleans Saints, right? And so as you saw in the video, to me, I think, it was pretty obvious that it was a spoof on what NFL wives do. Of course, you saw her making coffee. She's waking him up because he doesn't like to be awakened by an alarm clock. She's cleaning the doorknobs and getting the car warm and picking up the clothes and cooking, things that I guess a wife would do, right? And so I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. But a lot of people apparently didn't think that it was funny or cute. And maybe I don't think they got the memo that it was really a joke. Now, I don't know if she really does that or in real life or not, but it was problematic to me when I read in the comment section that, she's a slave, a servant. He's not worthy of all of that. And blink twice if you need help, if you need rescuing, and just a whole bunch of disparaging comments about what she was doing for her husband. Okay. Now, I want to just touch on this from a woman's point of view because I know that Phil did. And you guys, please go check that video out on the Phil Scott Show on his YouTube channel. He did an awesome job addressing that. But I wanted to do it from a woman's point of view. Now, I am what they call old school, right? I'll be 50 next year. Don't tell nobody, but I'll be 50 next year. And so I consider myself be old school. And I say that because I had the privilege of having a stay-at-home mom. My mom stayed at home while my father went out and, to the world, to his business. He was a mechanic and he worked and brought home the money. And my mom was a homemaker in every sense of the word. She stayed home with us, the children, made sure our school, work was done, and just everything that a woman would do, a wife, a mother would do at the house. Now, I should also say my mom was very educated. She had, her own nursing degree and all of that. So she had some things she could have done other than stay home. But I was very blessed to see that as an example. Now, I will say this. When my dad came home, my mom had dinner ready. We were already fed. The house was clean. Everything was done. My dad never walked into the house from what I can remember. I'm just telling you from my own memory. My dad never walked into the house and saw it disheveled, or I never remember him saying, "Man, you gonna cook today? Is some food going on? I don't smell nothing. I don't see nothing." I never saw that. I never saw that example with my grandmothers. I always saw my grandmothers, cater to their men. Now, I know somebody's probably going to say, well, you only need to do that for a man who's worthy. Okay, I'm going to tell you, my dad was worthy and my grandfathers were worthy. They were good to my mother and my grandmothers. Okay, but I also want to say, why is it that when we hear or see a woman doing the things that Chanen Johnson was doing or the things that my mom was doing back in the day, why do we always got to qualify that? Well, he got to be worthy. He got to be this. He got to be doing. Listen. For your man, you can impose whatever demand you want to on your man. But when you see another woman doing A, B, C, and D for her man, that ain't your business. That's for her to decide. If he wasn't doing any of those things, being worthy, protecting, providing, and all the things they say a man is supposed to be doing, that's her man. And if she's okay with that, then you should be okay with that too. All right. Now, I want to say this. I personally did not have one problem, even though she was joking. I didn't have a problem with what she was doing. And I'm going to say this because I am old school. I think if more women, now again, some people are gonna say, because I hate when people do this too. Well, there is that we need to get rid of gender roles, and who's to say a woman should be doing that and a man should be doing that again in your relationship? You can flip it, flop it, up, do whatever you want to do to it. But I'm saying, as far as me and my relationships, I don't have a problem with gender roles, right? When my man comes home, he's got something to eat. The house is clean. I am pleasant. I am dressed. Now, that's another thing too. I think women get this really, really messed up. I'm not saying you got to walk around the house looking like you just, like they did in the soap operas, they had on ball gowns and glittery diamonds. I'm not saying you got to be doing that, but I'm going to tell you this. I learned this from my father, who was a very wise man. He says, a man, when he goes out to work, now my dad is 76, so he might be a little bit, antiquated in his thinking, but I still, believe in it to this day. He says when a man goes out to work, the last thing he sees, especially if he goes early, right? The last thing he sees is his woman, and rightfully so. Maybe she stays at home. She's got a bathrobe on, her curlers in her hair. Now, curlers is really old school, but curlers in her hair, and she's kind of looking disheveled. So he says that's the last thing he sees when he goes out into the world to work or whatever. Now, you don't know where he's going to work. Obviously, if he's going out in the world working, he's around women who maybe work with him or are around him, and they, look good, they smell good. Oh, hi, Mr. So-and-so, how are you doing? Oh, it's just a nice day, and this, that, and the other. And then when he comes home, he doesn't want to see you in that same condition, in a bathrobe, and your hair is all over your head and all of that. No, get yourself together. Look like you tried. Wash your face, and I'm not telling you have a full face of makeup, but look presentable, look attractive. I don't see why people have a problem with that. You have women who say, well, it's safe for better or worse, but he gonna get what's coming out of this bathrobe if I do come out the bathrobe. And all of that other stuff. And so, a lot of times too, I think we as women, we miss the cues. Like if your man is telling you he like a certain thing, then all right, try to at least meet him halfway. But anyway, let me get back, because I done went all over the place. All right, and so a lot of women took problems, and some men too had a problem with Chanen Johnson doing what she was doing for her husband. But I just venture to say that if more women did those things, now if you want to have a hot girl summer, do that. Have a hot girl summer and have something hot on the table for your man when he come home, okay? I'm just speaking for myself, okay? What you do in your relationship is your business, but I'm saying I think more relationships will work out if people would just stop the nonsense. Oh, I ain't gonna do this for this and that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Without really having to say it. And, like I said, I'm one of those people. I don't have a problem with making sure everything is just right at home. And I want to say this about feminism before I go. Oh, my God. Feminism, I'm going to say this. I am not a feminism, never have been a feminist, not into it, never have, never, okay? I do believe that women should have equal rights and all of that, but I do not subscribe to the School of Feminism, where I need to get rid of my man and I'm a strong black woman. Can't no man tell me what to do. I'm independent. I do all this on my own. And no, because I do need my man, okay? And I think we need to get away from that we don't need a man, because men need us, right? But the one thing about feminism that I think black women didn't get the memo on, and that was, while you locked arms with white women in their struggles, they down with their man, and he's not going to tell us what to do, and we're burning our bras, running away from the house, and go finding ourselves. White women were doing that from, as Big Red said on 5 Heartbeats, from 9 to 5, okay? And when 5 o'clock came, they punched out of the feminism struggle, went home and made sure Brad had his casserole on the table, okay? She did her wifely duties. I mean, look at the numbers now. Look at the statistics. More white women are married and black women are not, because we really believe that these white women were out there really just getting rid of their man. Now, I know feminism is not the only reason why the black household is dilapidated. No, that's not the only reason, but it sure did play a big part, right? So black women believed all the hype. Yeah, we're getting rid of our men. They don't be telling us what to do, and I'm free, and all of that. And white women was like, well, yeah, we do that, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, while he's at work, because, we need something to do. But when he's off work, we go home and we have something on the table. The kids are taken care of. Like, they didn't tell us they was doing all of that. And so till this day, we have it in our minds that, we shouldn't be doing. I know it's not just black women. Okay, I know it's not just black women, but it's a lot of us who think that, okay? I just want to say that. Not all, because I don't like to deal in absolutes, because when people try to come for your head, not all. But a lot of black women, for some reason, let's remember that our grandparents and some of our mothers, if you're old enough, were doing those things, and they didn't have a problem with it. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Everybody wants to be free, and you don't take, no, you take out the trash. No, you do the dishes. No, I ain't gonna catch something wrong with you. Can't you cook? Like, I think if we would just really understand that doing those things, and it's not just those things, but doing some of those things make the relationship so much better. And like I said, for me, it's my pleasure. It is my pleasure to see my man walk in the door and him smelling something good that I cooked. I got my little hair did, and I'm presentable. I don't look like it did when he left, because trust me, when he left, I had the bonnet on and the robe. So I look a little bit better, and he can go and watch TV and decompress because he's been out there, and me not be all up in his ear about everything. There's a time, but we gonna do all of that later on when he gets himself together. Like, I don't have it's my pleasure to make a heaven on earth for my man, okay? So with, Chanen Johnson, I know she was joking, but, I think more women need to really look at that with a more of a critical eye and say, could I and should I be maybe doing those things for my man too? Would it make our relationship a little bit better? Now, I'm only speaking from a woman's point of view on the things that a woman can do. I know men can do a whole lot of, because, oh boy, I can already see and hear what's going on in these comments. Hopefully, I was clear and that I'm not bashing women. And I'm not saying that women should be slaves and women should, be subservient to a man. I'm not saying that. Because if you do it right, your man gonna do any and everything you want him to do. Trust me. Okay? There's value in saying, oh, yes, honey, it's my pleasure. What would you like to eat today? Oh, I got you, boo. You get everything you want if you're doing it right. All right? So for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel. Peace.